Hey everybody, I'm Amy Hughes and welcome to my kitchen on the beautiful Isle of Hope near Savannah, Georgia. Guess what? My family is out for the evening, so there is nobody home to interrupt my video or to walk downstairs right in the middle of things and say, what's for dinner? Or to belch or do other obnoxious things, which sometimes when you have three boys, they just do that. So anyway, so tonight we are going to make some delicious cupcakes. I'm hanging out with my best friend, Philadelphia cream cheese, and we are going to make red velvet cream cheese cupcakes. Yum! And they're so simple and so delicious. Now I already showed you how to make my black bottom cupcakes. Well, so what we're doing here is we're taking that recipe and we're making it so it's a red velvet cupcake, thus the red velvet dress. So let's get started. First of all, we take 1.5 packages of our friend Philadelphia cream cheese, and we're going to cream them in our mixer, and then we're going to put in 1/2 cup of sugar. We're just going to get that all nice and whipped up there, and then once that's nice and whipped up, we'll add our egg, and then once that's all fluffy, we'll stir in 1/3 cup of mini chocolate chips, and this is going to be the filling for our cupcake. Our cream cheese and our sugar and our egg are all nice and fluffy and creamy. See that? Ooh. And so now what we're going to do, let's scrape all this yummy Philadelphia goodness off of our little spatula thing here. There we go. We want to get every bite of that in there, because that is indeed the best part. And then we're going to take 1/3 cup of these mini itty bitty chocolate chips. See how tiny they are? And we're going to put those in there, and we're going to stir it up so that they're nice and incorporated. And we're going to set that to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to start mixing the batter part of our cupcakes. Now these cupcakes are different. Instead of using butter, they use canola oil. Next we're going to combine 1 cup of sugar and then 1/2 cup of Wesson oil. And we're going to mix it up in our mixer. I have to admit, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with red velvet cake. The first time I tried to make a red velvet cake, it took me like 4 different trips to the store. The first time I went to the store to get my buttermilk. And then I got home and I started making my cake, and I had one of these itty bitty things of red food coloring. Well, guess what? It takes a heck of a lot more food coloring than this. So I went back to the store and I got one of these size food colors, and guess what? It wasn't enough. So then I went back to the store and I got the Big Daddy red food coloring. Probably causes cancer, but you know, who cares? We're all gonna die somehow. And so anyway, so I made my red velvet cake and I was taking it to Atlanta for Christmas. And so I had it all nice and boxed up in this beautiful box, and for some reason we decided to take our dog with us to Atlanta. Now I have the best dog. I wish I could show him to you on the video, but I don't think I can. But anyway, he is so sweet, but he's big. He's really big. He's a yellow lab and he weighs 120 pounds. So anyway, so I had the red velvet cake all nice and positioned in the back seat. And would you believe the dog crawled in the back seat and flopped down right on my red velvet cake? Yep, he rode all the way to Atlanta and he had red velvet cake all in his fur. So anyway, so I really haven't had the courage to try red velvet cake until I invented these cupcakes, and they're worth it. So what we're going to do next is we're going to mix together our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients, and then we're going to add them to that batter that we just already created. So first we're going to take our flour, and we're going to take 1 3/4 cups flour. Now I like to just scoop it out like this and level it off like that and dump it in there. So there's 1 cup and then 3/4 cup. Needs a little bit more in there to even it up. There we go. So that's 1 3/4 cups of flour. And then you're going to add in 3/4 of cocoa powder. Now I use this Valrhona cocoa powder. It's a very dark, delicious cocoa. It's the perfect cocoa to use for this. You could also use that Dutch processed cocoa too, if you like. So 3/4 cups of that. And then we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So let me measure this over something here. So we got 1 teaspoon of baking soda. There we go. Don't you miss that little box that they used to have where you could scrape it across the top? But anyway, it's nice in this thing too. And then finally, we've got 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we'll put that in there. And we're gonna take our whisk, and we're just gonna whisk this up. See how beautiful that is? Really pretty. Oh, and it smells so good, that Valrhona cocoa. Yum. So that's all nicely combined. And now we're going to combine our wet ingredients and buttermilk. Buttermilk is the key to red velvet cake and to keeping things moist. So we're going to take 1 cup of buttermilk. Well, here's my 1 cup measure right here. And then I'm going to add in 2 teaspoonsful of Mexican vanilla. Now, why Mexican vanilla? Why? Because it tastes the best. It really just gives it this wonderful, wonderful flavor. So we're going to put 2 teaspoonsful of Mexican vanilla in here. 1, 2. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add our flour mixture and our buttermilk mixture to our oil and sugar mixture. And we're going to add it in halves. We'll add half of this, then half of that, then half of this, and half of that. And now we've got our gorgeous chocolate batter. Oh, it smells so good. So now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of red food coloring. Be careful, don't spill this all over your gorgeous red velvet gown, which I'm sure that you're baking into. Okay, executive decision. We're going to add 1 more. We don't have to, but we're just going to add it just to make sure that that red velvet cupcake is gorgeous. So there is our 3rd tablespoon of red food coloring. So we're filling our cupcake liners about 1/3 of the way full with this beautiful Valrhona chocolate batter. Such a gorgeous red color, see that? And then we're going to put a little dollop of our Philadelphia cream cheese on top of it, like this. Smaller dollop, there you go. And that's what makes these cupcakes so special, that chocolate cream cheese combination. Yum. Now we're going to pop these cupcakes into a 350-degree oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. We're going to watch them real closely so that they cook nice and evenly on top. And they're going to be delicious. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that two-tone. Isn't that gorgeous? Can you see how pretty that is? Oh, that is so pretty. See? Mmm. 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 Wow, that is so, so yummy. Mmm. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you will make it with your family, and I hope you will put on your red velvet gown and go to town and just do it. Mmm. Rascal. Did you sit on that red velvet cake? Did you sit on that cake all the way to Atlanta, you old bad dog?